the last 30 years, for example, since the publication of Giza Vermisch's book Jesus the Jew in the 70s, there's been a new appreciation of Jesus as a Jew in his Jewish context.
Yeah.
Okay? Let me give an example of how powerful this is. The term Son of God in Christian, what does this mean, term Son of God, as a Christian? What does this mean?
Yeah, do you mean what we mean today, or
I'm asking what do Christians mean by Jesus being the Son of God?
Yeah, they mean that his divine nature emanates from
Exactly. You're absolutely
the divine
right.
nature itself.
Thank you. It's the divine Jesus, the divine Son of God.
Right.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Right. Now, this is the interesting thing about looking again at Jesus in his Jewish context. In first century Judaism, the Palestinian milieu that Jesus lived and died, the term Son of God did not mean a divine being, it meant a righteous man. Let me give you an example. In Luke's Gospel, chapter 3, you have a genealogy of Jesus. It goes all the way back to Adam. And what is Adam called? By Luke himself. Adam, do you know Luke calls Adam the Son of God. In the Torah itself, Israel is called the Son of God. David in Psalm chapter 2 is called Son of God. Angels are called sons of God. Israel itself is a nation, and so on. It's never used of a divine figure. It's actually a means of righteousness. Jesus said, blessed are the peacemakers, for they should be called
sons of God.
Sons of God.
Right.
You're a son. If you're a peacemaker, you're a son of God, according to Jesus.
Yeah.
So it's not a divine title. But you see what's happened? Let me explain why it changed. Because this is a very important bit.
No, you might be right, and I probably agree with you.
I could be wrong, but this is what scholars are convinced about. As the term Son of God moved out of its Jewish context, where it only meant a man,
you're right here,
into the Gentile pagan world, where there were son of gods and demigods, and Hercules was a half man, half god. Okay, you see what happened, don't you? The term lost its original rooting in Judaism and became a Gentile term. The word didn't change, the Son of God, but the meaning changed. Christianity changed from being a Jewish religion within Judaism to being a Gentile faith, where the Son of God, as then you correctly say, becomes a divine title.
Right.
So you see the value of this renewed interest in the Jewishness of Jesus. It tells us that there's been a misunderstanding on the part of Christianity later about who Jesus was. When Jesus says, or is called Son of God, it doesn't mean that he was divine.
No, that's right. Well,
so that's an example.
But I can agree with you.
But no, many other examples I can give you.
No, I'm not disagreeing. Remember, I agreed with you here. But where you and I would draw the distinction is, I don't leave it at that. Yes, Jesus is the Son of God. You could be a son of God, right? But that doesn't exclude the meaning that the early Christian communities gave to Jesus as a divine figure, right? So just you could have that title, right? And as I've said, I agree with you. That's what it meant. It's been taken out of context now. But note, it doesn't exclude Jesus as perhaps what we would understand as Orthodox Christianity, that Jesus has a divine nature and a human nature, right?
I think, well, it does exclude it by implication in as far as there's no evidence